Okay.
Let's see. How do I feel like talking? I wish I didn't have such a gravelly.
I thought that you had a whole new thing you were going to do.
No, I was kidding. No,
Oh, no. If you need, I mean, you can use your radio voice.
I don't have a radio voice. I've tried. I don't
It's a
have.
muscle. You got to flex it.
Let's hear your radio voice.
Hello, everybody, and we're getting ready to recap episode 11 of Vanderpump Rules.
No.
Or whatever episode it is. I don't
like...
know. Take it away, Jess. Like that. This is my radio voice. I can talk like this all day long.
I know you cannot because I can't take radio Phil serious.
No, you have to take me serious. This is going to be my voice for the podcast. This is the way that I'm going. Okay, let's get started.
Welcome, everybody. This is episode 8 of Reality Riffs podcast.
Episode 8.
Woo! That means it's season 11, episode 8. I truly can't believe
It means it's been 8 fucking weeks and nobody's punched Sandoval in the face yet.
Peaks and valleys. No, but I feel like Jax could be the no. Here, I'll read this real quick.
He gets a little comeuppance today, so.
Yeah, okay, so anyway, we'll just read this real quick and we'll dive right in. Katie and Lala hash out their issues after a blowout argument. Sandoval throws himself back into the dating pool. Ariana warns Sheena about consequences of rekindling a friendship with Tom. And that is, I mean, I feel like a lot of stuff happened in this episode. A lot of little stuff because I read through that and that's not even, it was a good episode.
Yeah, you're actually, there's some drama in this episode that's building up to bigger drama, right? Like there's actually starting to get some momentum going here.
Yeah, and I feel like some of the, I don't know.
Of course, part of it's because, you actually get to see Sandoval and Ariana sharing space, for the first time since the reunion.
So it feels more like the good days, when everybody was together. But did you have anything you wanted to talk about your weekend?
I don't know. Did I do anything exciting this weekend? I can't, for the life of me, think of anything I did.
You had another.
It snowed on the first day of spring today. That happened. So, timestamp that shit.
Yeah.
It's Montana.
That's so weird. I was having these
Okay, wait. It snowed on the first day of spring.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 62 degrees on Christmas.
Okay.
It's weird. I'm just saying. There's weird shit going on.
It's really weird. It was in the 60s on my birthday, and it's never...
So if the aliens come back for you, like, do I get to hitch a ride? Like, am I, like, in for just, like, being married to you and fathering your children? Because, like, if they come to pick you up and rescue you and the children, like, do I get left behind?
I don't know if you would survive our atmosphere.
I don't think I'm going to survive this atmosphere. So, there's that.
Well, I can ask. I can
Okay.
ask.
Anyways, that's a little too deep for Vanderpump Rules. A little too heavy.
Yeah, in the Valley premiered. I watched it. I, there were. It's weird because part of me was bored and then part of me wasn't. And so I just have to roll with it because it's the first episode
Mm-hmm.
of the first season. I can't expect it to be a banger. They have to give us a little something to build off of. And um anyway, Phil's going to watch it and we're going to decide whether we'll cover that too.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout.
Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do our watch along with. Who knows?
Who knows? Okay, so anyway, the episode starts with really happy, or the episode of Vanderpump Rules,
Yeah.
since we are recapping that currently. It starts out with really happy music with whistling, and I'm like, this is gonna end poorly. But like you know how they show like little things that are going on in everybody's households or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the I just laughed out loud when they cut to Schwartz's and he's brushing his teeth and then Joe comes in and on her Chiron they put Joe, Tom's friend, and then they add who is totally not living with him in parentheses. And I was laughing so hard because, like, yeah, it was, I mean, she's either stayed over or is staying over long.
Yeah, she's definitely becoming more of the part of the show, right? Like with, the will they, won't they.
Well, she even got a confessional.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I really like her. But anyway, and then James has electro pulsating flowers. But I'm not okay, you don't want dogs on the show, or you don't. I'm like, let's keep the kids off for the most part.
Well, no, it's not that I don't want the dog. Like, I don't feel like the dogs are being exploited. That's not what I mean.
Anyway, I just want to touch on one thing with the dog, and then I'm not talking about the dog, but I don't want to sound mean or anything. Wow, now I hear a dog barking outside. I can't accept hippie as a name for that dog. I don't know for any dog.
Maybe if he was shaggier.
Maybe.
He needs to get his get his get his mane back.
Or be like yeah, it would have to be a quirky dog, I think. Like a rescue dog, not a pure, or I guess labradoodles aren't purebred because labradoodle. Anyway, that really isn't that interesting, but I really don't like that name and I want to. But anyway, okay, so here's where we are prep for Tom's pool party.
Oh yeah.
And I just don't. Okay, so they show all the like the beverages, the little plastic shot glasses, the shakers and stuff like that. And non-alcoholic whiskey is a thing?
Apparently so.
Why? And then Jason, he says, it's not that bad. And I'm thinking, does it taste like whiskey? Because if it does, it can't taste that great. And then one last thing, I'm just like, why do they feel the need to even have fake booze? Why can't they just have the fucking pool party?
Yeah.
Like, why do they need to take shots
yeah.
of fake whiskey?
Yeah, and there's a cooler full of Coke. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's like our kids
sorry, we don't,
on New Year's when they get the fake wine, the sparkling apple cider, and pour it in the champagne flutes, and then they walk around like they're getting drunk or something.
Yeah.
Maybe this year we can get them little shot glasses of root beer. And then, I mean, no, but is that weird? Like, that is just so, I mean, that is such addict behavior that you can't have a pool party without pretending to drink.
Oh yeah, but it's not for him. It's for it's putting on, right? Like it's for the it's.
Okay, but not just
we're gonna.
him.
You know what he said that they probably cut. It's okay. We're gonna be filming the pool, so we got to stage the pool party. Like.
Mm-hmm. I'm not just talking about him. They make fake booze, so like obviously other people do.
Okay, but do you remember near beer?
Oh yeah, they were drinking. They drink it too.
Okay, but like that stuff didn't sell too well. So you know what it is now? LaCroix and Perrier. It's mineral water. It was always mineral water, right? Like it was this carbonated water.
It's just so weird when they had, but and that definitely isn't the weirdest thing about this party.
Yeah, I feel like we're spending way too much talking about this.
The fake booze, but
better things happened.
Yeah, and so anyway, real quick, Katie and Lala meet up to kind of hash out. And I would like people to take note and pay attention here. And this is how apologies should be given. On both, it was like, I'm sorry. Not, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry if, or you did that. And they hurt each other. But anyway, they sit down. I think they're both. Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's funny that you should mention the water because I have it written down. Why are they trying to make sparkling water happen? We even see it later on in the episode. It's
I don't know. I think it's weird because it already happened. Like, you know how
but they talk about it constantly on the show this season.
Yeah, but there's an entire, like, you know how big the soda aisle is?
Of course I do. I'm not saying they're I'm trying to make it happen for Vanderpump Rules. Yeah.
Or maybe they're just trying to, like, sell the audience on the idea of, hey, we're not going to be drunken buffoons anymore.
Well, I don't know, but it's just weird how much they talk about sparkling water on the show.
Well, it's Lala's thing, right? It's pretty much, they bring it up when she's doing
but it. Now everybody. But anyway, before they, I'm just like, because remember last week when I said it's so weird because I'm on both of their sides, but they're so opposite. And so, like, and I'm so proud of Lala from where she came from in the beginning to now. Like, she's so clear-headed and she's good with her words what did you think?
Oh, yeah, no, I think that Lala's probably, she's probably got the best objective kind of view of everything that's going on, I think. Right? Like, she's not straddling the fence. Like,
no.
When she's
nor is Katie.
Yeah, when she's with Ariana, she's with Ariana. When she's with Sheena, she's with Sheena. And she's not really, like, kind of flip-flopping from their position, right? Like, she's still always trying to mediate because she's really in between the sort of Sheena and the
And I really
Ariana
admire
thing.
the way she's able to do that. Because and she and she's still able to be honest
Mm-hmm.
with everybody, but still maintain friendship. And I think that's because she never declares loyalty, just blind,
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. But I admire the way she's able to do that, and people respect her
Mm-hmm.
position, and they don't. But she doesn't ask for their permission. I think
Yeah.
is a big part of it, and yeah. But
Well, like I said, I mean, part of that's having kids changes you in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like that's
oh yeah.
like all of a sudden those a lot of the petty things that you used to find yourself in the middle of just aren't that fucking important anymore. And it's just like you're sitting there going, grow the fuck up, everybody.
Well, I did, yeah, and I could not believe, you go from um that cringy party that Sandoval's throwing, and then you have these two grown ass
Mm-hmm.
women. I excuse the phrase. I hate it when people overuse grown ass women, but they're so mature because Lala asked Katie to be softer, and Katie completely acknowledges the fact that she comes off cold.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I'm sorry. She just says, I'm sorry. Just like that. And it was the most sincere, you can
Mm-hmm.
tell. And she didn't elaborate. She didn't even say, I'm sorry for, because in the moment she apologized because
Mm-hmm.
Lala said what that. And it was, I don't know, I liked it. And I, oh my God, could I relate to Lala when she was expressing her fear that one if they become friends or again
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, one day one of them will say something that they will never be able to recover from, because that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't, once words are out there, they're out there.
Yeah.
But do you have any other thoughts on that?
No. Did somebody say ride or die in that scene, or was that when Sheena
Oh
was
yeah,
talking with
yep. I
Ariana?
thought we weren't going to talk about ride or die. That's
No,
why I
but
didn't
I
bring it up.
heard it and it triggered me.
Well, because Lala, I can't remember if it was, yeah, because Lala said they used to be ride or die. Lala said in the confessional or right
Mm.
before a bunch of, but yeah, she said
Yeah,
they were ride or die for each
I
other.
just it's such a okay. You know what? I'm gonna make a note of that. Every time I hear ride or die, I want to make a note of it. But what I'm gonna do,
Not just on Vanderpump Rules, but in real life too.
I don't hear it anywhere else.
Really?
So okay, I'm gonna look at that and then
That can't be the first time you ever heard it, though.
no, absolutely not. But what
Okay.
I'm saying is it's such a tired fucking metaphor that I am just going to uh, use my English skills and see if I can't come up with some different metaphors
I
that
was just
can
gonna
be
say, what do you
used in that
prefer?
space. I don't know. I'm gonna take some time to think about it. I'm too high to come up with anything off the cuff right now.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, what did we say back in our day? Or like when before ride or die?
No, like I had my boys, you know what I mean. But I
Yeah.
don't think that was ever an expression.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
anyways,
trying to think.
I'm gonna circle back to that next week. I'm sure I'll hear it again.
Okay, but now we go back to the cringiest pool party I've ever witnessed on
Yeah, it was.
television, maybe. But Tom really seems to be missing Rachel, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's so terrible.
I mean, it just happens to fall right after Lisa kind of gives him permission to get back out there
Well, yeah,
last week.
and the boys did too, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
in their little, uh 007 freaking meetup.
Yeah, and
I think was it Schwartz was like, "Yeah, you need to get back out there, man. Just and you could tell he wants to. He's like, "Yeah, I want."
oh yeah,
He's like, "Yeah, I gotta," and I don't know. It's just I don't know. The guy makes me sick, and it's 8 weeks in, nobody's punched him in the face yet.
and you know what? It wouldn't if the dude wanted to get back out there and date. It wouldn't bother me if he would just stop saying how much he misses Rachel.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't. I don't believe it. But anyway, Schwartz has enough sense to fucking leave because it's the scene of the crime. I mean, that's where that's where the affair happens. So he's kind of or Tom Sandoval's kind of shitting on his girlfriend and his ex-girlfriend.
Oh no, that's
simultaneously.
That's one of the thoughts I had too, is because the whole redemption arc for Tom is just not happening, right? Like this is
not the way he thinks. He's not coming up the way he thought he would, or the way he thinks he is.
It's like a Disney kind of like sort of like a Maleficent kind of the villain backstory thing, right? Except for, in those stories, the villain's always redeemed. In this story, there is no way. Like you're looking at a villain and the backstory of like future villain Tom, and there's nothing redeeming in it at all. He's just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like to sit there and listen to him. I mean, he did humiliate himself, talking to those girls in that pool, which was,
Well, that's coming up, but right after Schwartz leaves, we see what I noticed, there might be something else in there, but what I really noticed was Billy Lee sits right by him, and then she introduces Tom to her girlfriend, desperately hoping to make him jealous. And by the looks on Billy Lee's girlfriend's face, she talks about Tom a lot because Billy Lee's girlfriend looked annoyed. Didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Or was that just me?
Oh yeah, no, she's probably just like this. She just probably like, yeah, Billy Lee, I know you're in love, like the rest of fucking everybody. Like we all know.
And then it was, I was just like, oh, it's gross. I mean, why? It was, I thought it was pathetic before I knew she had a girlfriend, but now I know she has a girlfriend, and I feel bad for her girlfriend. It's just, she has such puppy dog eyes for Tom.
Oh yeah.
And then you hear Tom. I don't know if Tom is kind of picking up on the vibe that Billy wants him, and he doesn't really want, because he's like, oh, the girls, and then he gets excited and he jumps out and he meets these two blondes that look about all of 16 years old.
Yeah.
When they were in the pool and he's swimming around and he's talking about the roommate, my ex.
It was so. I got physically disgusted watching that.
It was like pervy dad vibes.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you're not starting over as a 20-year-old. I think
No.
that's what he thinks he's doing. He thinks he's starting over as a 20-year-old, and it's like, dude, you're not that.
Yeah, like if this had been when he broke up with Kristen, yes, appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
These girls at the age you are now, Tom, inappropriate. They almost look like sisters or maybe just friends, but
Yeah.
clearly young.
Yeah.
Younger than Rachel.
Yeah, too young to be,
And he asks if they've ever been to Burning Man, and they almost look at him like, what's Burning Man? As if they're too young to know what that is even.
This would have been a good year for me to have gone. It's like, no, this is the year that everybody got fucking trapped out of Burning Man, I think.
Or was that Coachella?
No, it was Burning Man. Yeah, there was flash flooding out there in the desert, and the roads got washed out. But I don't know if that was last year or the year before. Probably last year, because I think the year before there was still probably a little COVID wary, but...
Ugh.
there was like a video of I want to say Johnny Depp like riding in the back of the pickup with these dudes, like just trying to get back to town. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, it was highly publicized.
But yeah, I just think it was funny that that's dude, that's not. At least I think he acknowledges that in his confessional that he doesn't know how to talk.
Super awkward.
Yeah. He's like, I'm trying to talk to people without manipulating them, and trying to be more on the level, but I just don't know how to do it.
But those girls, and then they look at each other real quick. And I mean, if I'm reading body language, I'm reading, why did we come here?
Yeah.
They must have been really drunk when he invited them because they looked so confused as to why they would ever fall for. I mean, maybe they thought, cool, we'll be on television for.
Yeah, that's, that would be my assumption.
But after he was being really creepy, I don't know, maybe he took some other drugs since he's sober, and sober to Tom means not on alcohol. But he just looked so creepy. Maybe they were skeeved out at that point. They didn't expect that.
Well, no, and to be honest, I think that, I don't think he actually was into these girls either, though. That's why he was kind of.
But he wanted them to be into him.
Well, yeah.
Because in his glory days, they would have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah,
would have thrown that football over the mountain.
He's
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico. Vote for Pedro, everyone. Okay. And in the next scene, we have Anne cleaning after another party. And if my friends, in quotations, left my house like that,
oh yeah,
they would never be invited back. At least the trash would be picked up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll handle the mopping and the wiping of the counters but even my friends would help with that, but nothing. They didn't even leave a finger. I bet Tom said, "Oh, don't worry about it. My assistant does it." Or, I'll take
care of it.
Yep.
And by I'll take care of it, it means Anne will take care of it.
My God. It's and then Ariana's absolutely right. She's like, what is in Anne's job description? And then I loved it when she says, I love Anne, but she has a shitty boss.
Oh, yeah. I don't envy that job at all. But I guess, the thing about Anne's job is that if she probably wants to work for an A-lister, she is going to have to put up with some major shit, right? And that's kind of her, that's her career. That's her sort of her thing.
Yeah, I wonder, they keep calling her, do they call her his intern or assistant?
Assistant.
Assistant. Oh, okay. So yeah, she probably wants to work with that. Oh, yeah, I guess.
This is going to go on a resume.
Yeah.
Say I worked for Tom Sandoval. Holy shit.
Yeah, you got thick skin.
Yeah.
No, I just, yeah, I don't know. But then we have a scene with between Sheena and Ariana,
Mm-hmm.
and they start talking about Dancing with the Stars, and I thought Ariana was nice for hearing her out, and I also thought Ariana was a good friend for wanting to make sure Sheena felt
Mm-hmm.
comfortable being honest with her. And Sheena reassures her she does, which is a shitty thing because she doesn't.
Yeah.
She clearly doesn't. I mean, for us, the audience, we know that she doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't expect Ariana to act, because Sheena expects a lot out of the people in her life.
Oh yeah. Well,
But like you can't expect people to go off of information they don't have. And I think that's what Ariana was trying to say is I've been hearing this from Lisa and I heard
mm-hmm.
it from Lala. I want to hear what you have to say.
Oh,
And then Sheena opened up a little bit, and what did you think?
well, yeah. I mean, that's one of the things when she was like, um, yeah, I've been hearing, I heard it from Lisa, and then, Sheena makes like, "Ah, I can't believe Lisa told you. That's why I
Or
don't
but
like
she
to
knows
go
she's
to,
like, I hate it when people put words into my mouth.
yeah. And it was,
Flash back to her saying.
yeah. But it was just kind of like, no, that's exactly why you went to Lisa to put your words into her mouth and move them along. You know
And
what I
that's
mean?
why you're here to.
Yeah. It's
But
just like, yeah, she's pretty freaking delusional too. But, you know, um,
like
you know,
Ariana also had a good point that her feelings were hurt that she had, and she didn't even say it out loud. This was in the confessional when she's like, does she not realize it hurts me to hear her talk about how she misses this person
oh yeah.
who was like basically destroyed my life? Like, and you never hear Ariana say that. And I'm glad she did.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. Like in the in the description, right? They talk about, well, Ariana and Sheena patch up their blah blah, but like, did they? I don't feel like they did. I feel like Ariana heard her out, and I thought Ariana was polite, and
Very.
I think that Ariana is thinking to herself, Sheena's gone. Right? Like Sheena wants to be friends with Tom, that's fine because she doesn't understand.
Oh, and that's where I got so fucking annoyed with Sheena throwing
Mm,
out that hypothetical. So, what if he does come back in the future and he is sincere? Basically asking for Ariana's permission to be friends with him.
mm.
Well, if you're asking for permission, don't get upset if you don't get the answer that you wanted. See, that's where I have more
Well,
respect for
and
Lala. Lala doesn't ask for
yeah, and
permission.
don't be surprised that if in your hypothetical you're going, if he comes back sincere, when the person you're talking to will never ever see that person sincere again ever, even if they are.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of like yeah, the sincerity ship has sailed for those two. Like, so it's just kind of like, yeah, if he comes back sincere, sure, fine.
Well, and also I feel like Sheena's being a bad friend because she's doing this on camera. And so by her asking, well, in a way, asking Ariana's permission, if she gets denied, that's just one more way she can make Ariana look like a bad guy. Because
Mm-hmm.
she did such a fine job of it last episode.
Yeah, but I think, that's starting to.
Well, even in Ariana's confession, she's like, what did she say? She's on to Sheena. She knows that she wants. What did she say?
Oh, I can't remember exactly what she
She's
said.
like, I can see what's going on. She 100% already plans on being friends with Tom Sandoval. She's just preparing me. I'm paraphrasing.
Oh yeah. She's like, she's trying to soften the blow, is what she was saying.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's totally, kind of what's going on. But at the same time, it's like, how can, I think Sheena keeps throwing the Dancing with the Stars things in her face. She's like, I'm gonna keep making this your and Tom's affair, or your guys' relationship blowing up all about me, and I'm gonna do that because you took Dancing from the Stars from me. That's totally like Sheena's thing right now.
Because she's like, yeah, you knew I hired a I don't know. She brought up the choreographer again, and I just laughed. I don't know. I think that's hilarious because that's getting a little ahead of yourself, don't you think? I don't know. But
I think she's like trying to sell it now. Like now she's just like, all right, fuckers, like this
hit
one.
me up, hit me up.
she's gonna turn her her public against Dancing with the Stars. We want Sheena.
Yeah, and I don't really think anybody's. Well, maybe.
No, fan activism's a thing now, man. Like you look at what happened with wrestling. Like, I know you don't care about it, and it's not a big deal to you, right? But like they have like this one wrestler, like it was this big deal, and he was gonna get to finally win the championship, and the whole crowd was behind him.
No, you told me about this one. I am interested in this.
Yeah, and then the Vince McMahon shit happened, and so as sort of a PR move, they just brought The Rock back out of thin air, right? And was like, no, now it's going to be The Rock, and it's going to be the biggest thing ever, and pretty much push this dude aside. Right?
I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's sad, but there was such a public outcry about it from the fans that they've completely reworked Rock's angle, so now he's a bad guy, and they're going to be able to like go back and like do this whole thing. So.
Oh, in current time?
Yeah.
You're still watching wrestling?
No, I'm not. I don't watch wrestling. I'm just kind of following the drama. See, because I like to watch like videos of like old school wrestling from like I was a kid.
Oh, so it's on your algorithm?
Yeah, so wrestling stuff kind of comes up on my feed. But every once in a while,
so
like,
in
I like to
a way,
see
you have pop culture. It's just your own little corner of the.
Well, yeah, I mean.
We just have different popular culture.
Is that a fucking airplane? What the hell
I think someone's mowing their lawn. In March. In Montana. Yeah, but their lawns are usually covered in snow right now. Okay, so...
all that dog shit's exposed out there. I shouldn't have to think about that for a while.
Landmines. Okay, next we have Tom and Joe walking. Oh my gosh. Tell me if I'm wrong. I totally ship these two, by the way, and I realized why, because I had it paused to take down a note, and they were just standing there in that park. They're Harry and Sally. They remind me so much of when Harry met Sally, and like I could totally see them getting together. I don't know, maybe not, but like they're charming, and they have their own little quirky dialogue and their quirky little sounds, but like their banter is like Harry and Sally. They're just so cute.
Here's my theory on that. So Now, I think, didn't they say that Joe was friends with Kristen?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you get to ship those two and then ship them off to the valley, right? Like,
Yeah.
save Schwartz. No, because I mean, no, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but
Well,
I think
because
that.
Tom and Ariana are already there.
Mm,
Tom and Katie were, but they had to sell.
yeah. Um, yeah, I just don't know if there is more Vanderpump Rules after this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I also heard that Sheena um moved or bought a house in the valley
Mm-hmm.
for like 2.4 million or something like that. And so I'm wondering if she's going to transition. I don't know. This is all speculation. But
I wonder
anyway,
what this place would be worth in the valley.
oh God.
3 million.
With all our lot,
Yeah,
even.
just our yard.
Just our yard. But yeah, I can't imagine. We wouldn't be able to afford it. We wouldn't be able to afford it. No, but anyway, I love seeing Schwartz carefree with Joe because you never saw that with Katie. But they didn't film alone. Schwartz treats Joe a lot differently than he did Katie.
Mm-hmm.
He stands up for Joe. Like if people talk bad about her, he sticks up for her. He never stuck up for Katie. He never, I don't know, they just didn't seem to make each other happy the way that Joe and Schwartz seemed to make. They didn't seem to have a friendship. But we didn't see Tom and Katie the early years.
Mm-hmm.
So like, when they had the butterflies and maybe they had their own language, but I mean,
So they were together when they came on the show?
Yeah, for almost 2 years, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that I could see how that can be kind of like throw some monkey wrenches in your relationship, especially if,
Especially in your 20s when
Yeah.
you're drinking a lot
Yeah.
and everyone around you is dramatic too.
like I said, I would not have been a good partner in my 20s.
I mean, I know you say that, and I'm glad you got any growing up that you needed out of your system, but I truly believe that you would have been a good partner at any age. You just have that type of maturity about you. And you have that love, that way about you. I don't know. It's why I fell for you.
Well,
One of the reasons. But I think that
I'm an asshole.
no.
And our kids could probably speak to how mean a dad is.
Well, then you're doing your job. Every kid thinks that their parent is the meanest until they go over to one of their friends' house and they come back and they're like, so and so's mom. And I'm like, yeah, you're pretty damn lucky, aren't you?
Yeah, we're pretty chill around here.
No, but Joe kind of does remind me a little bit of me, just her flighty woo.
Oh yeah.
Nature. And how I loved how she had a turtle, Charlie, and he just wandered off into the sewer and became a ninja turtle. And Joe may be quirky, but she comes off as a good person. I really do love her.
Oh yeah, and I think she's, it sounds like she's kind of hasn't gotten a fair shake, I guess, from the group,
Yeah. We'll have to see some more of her, I guess, because I'm not annoyed by her. I think she's quirky and goofy and a Looney Tune, but so am I. She and I would be perfect road trip buddies.
Yeah, she could probably like do with a bowl or a joint every now and again, though. Maybe like.
Yeah, but if she's anything like me, that gets her even more. Woo woo!
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so anyway, let's get back and I don't know if it's later on that evening or what, but anyway, we're at Tom Tom. And
Yeah.
remember last week when I said, or whenever they were in Tahoe and Sandoval was so much more likable, and I was saying, because I think Ariana triggers him, even though she's the one that he will admit that she's the only one that needs an apology, but still he hates her. And okay, so we're at Tom Tom and they're together in public in the same place for the first time together. Oh my God. He is shooting death glares in her direction, at her or anyone speaking to her. Like, it is so funny. I love watching Tom be so salty. Did you catch that though? Like,
oh yeah, it's. I think it was just kind of shocking to actually see it on screen for the first time too, of those two actually interacting, because it hadn't happened, right?
And we were all waiting for it.
Right, and we're getting, of course, they're kind of building up to, they're obviously at some point going to be on a beach yelling at each other. So, but yeah, that was just. Right. So wait, Tom Tom wasn't the last one? The last scene was that Tom Tom? Oh, I guess no.
No, when Tom and Joe were walking around, and then the next scene, it was like everybody was there. I can't remember what it was.
I think it was just.
It was just a gathering.
Yeah, they were just out, and that was because Ariana was like, "No, I'm not gonna let him."
Oh, and I'm not sure if it was at Tom Tom. Sorry.
No, it wasn't. That's what was throwing me off. I think the boys meet at Tom Tom later on.
That's right.
No, they're at what was the name of it?
Schwartz and Sandy's, or was it just a random?
Yeah, it was a random bar. It wasn't.
It wasn't a Vanderpump.
Yeah.
Production. Yeah, but yeah,
or it could have been one of Lisa's other million bars, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So, okay, yeah. Now I know where I'm at, because that's when Tom was walking around going, "I need to take a shit. I need to take a shit." Like, kept on saying it like 3 or 4 times. I noticed that. It's like your ex-girlfriend walks in here, and now you're gonna shit your pants, like,
something like that.
Yeah, I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Well.
But then the girls go outside, and Allie says that she's gonna be doing Joe's birth chart, and they all laugh, and I yelled out loud, "Leave Joe alone!" Yeah. And I was like, Katie hates everything. She's such a jealous bitch.
Well, and I think Katie just needs to, I wish her well, but she'll probably just go away. It's like, if you don't want to be around these people, then.
And look,
I get it. There's probably a good paycheck in it, but, then don't. Like, go do something else with your life that will make you happy.
And she does not have to like her ex-husband's new possible love interest or whatever she is. But she doesn't have to be so mean.
Yeah.
And she doesn't, I don't know, because I'm sure it's hard to see Schwartz with somebody else, like right in your face or whatever, because they were together for 12 years. I mean, divorced or not, there's still something of a feeling, but Joe's a nice person. And Katie was just being mean.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if this was the scene when she was unloading, but
yeah, no, pretty much. I think that's when she was like just talking. I don't know. I don't remember what she said, so I'm not gonna try to recap that. But yeah, Katie doesn't like Joe. We know that.
No, she doesn't. And it sucks because I've been liking everything Katie's had to say this season, other than her take on Joe so far. And and Katie's always been hard on the new girls. Not even one, well, nobody else has ever been with Schwartz, but yeah, but anyway.
Well, and it's kind of sad too, because if she does really have some sort of feeling towards Schwartz, I mean, at least you would like to think that, okay, all things being equal, at least he seems pretty freaking happy. You know what I mean? Like, not like it's not like you can sit there and look at Sandoval and this fake relationship pretty much with Raquel, because like, yeah, he was just using her too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then actually see that Schwartz is in this relationship with Joe where that actually looks genuine. Like they look like they really are
in
happy.
Seasons past, all the fandom people were worried about Schwartz.
Yeah.
Like his health. He was drinking a lot. People were worried about the drugs he could have been on. He looks great this season. Healthy. When I say great, I think he looks like he's got his shit together.
Well, no, and I think that comes a lot
from being happy.
Well, yeah, and I think you can see that a lot in his interactions with Tom, right? In that, because probably old Schwartz would have stayed at that pool party.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, he's
just so he wouldn't have to go home to Katie.
Like he's... They
hated each other. They brought out the worst in each other. Well, no,
but not just that. I mean, part of their his and Katie's problem, as far as I can understand it, was the fact that Schwartz was so loyal to Sandoval that he would have stayed at that party because he doesn't want to upset Sandoval.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you see that. So you can kind of see that growth.
Yeah. And maybe that is why he's being so affectionate and carving out time for Joe. Maybe he learned something in his
he says in
relationship with Katie.
He says in his confessional, right? It's like, I can marry Joe and be happy. Like I can marry Joe right now, but I can be happy.
And I think,
but I don't want to do that right now. I'm like, you do, then you're a fucking idiot because you're not.
But see, that was Harry and Sally.
Yeah. But well, this is the part of the movie where you fucking do it. You know what I mean? You don't do it when you're 60. Like,
yeah.
I guess I don't know. I found somebody that I said I could marry this girl tomorrow and be happy for the rest of my life, and so I did.
Aww.
And
ditto. But
I'm not an idiot.
It took you 19 years.
Well, I mean, that's why it took me 19 years of being an idiot. I got I learned a lot of lessons along the way going, don't step there, that hurts.
Well, I appreciate it. And then, okay, so Sheena comes up to Schwartz and she's like, oh, so I heard there was a sexy singles pool party or something like that. And then Schwartz goes, this is exactly why I left. And then Sandoval walks up and he's like, it was G-rated. And I'm like, since when do they show tits on G-rated shit?
Yeah.
Because there was I'm not trying to shame that girl, but wasn't she topless in the pool? There was
Oh,
a topless chick at that pool party.
oh, I didn't notice that.
Really? Because I noticed she had an arm covering and then one in the air. Like she was waving it like she just don't care. But she obviously did care because she was covering her tits with the one arm.
I wonder if they knew they were going to get filmed.
Oh, yeah, because you have to sign waivers and stuff like
Well,
that.
I'm just wondering, like, did they know? They didn't know until they walked up, and then the production crew's like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Would you like to
Well,
come
I'm
and
sure
be
she
filmed?"
brought her bikini top.
Well, yeah, but I'm just wondering. I could see Sandoval just text and be like, "Hey, pool party at my house. You guys want to come and hang out?" And they show up, and then they meet the production crew right off the bat.
No, but remember the New York Times article?
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're in Tom Sandoval's world, if you know him at all, you know if he's doing something, it's going to be filmed. Or he at least thinks it is.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? He was just like. So, anyway, Sheena gets into Tom's face, and I don't know if she's just trying to look good in front of Ariana or, I don't know. But anyway, she gets in his face, and she may be the first person who's asked this on camera, but she asks if he feels like he manipulated Rachel.
Oh yeah, and you could just sit there the whole time that Sheena's talking to Tom. You can just see it building up, right? Like, the walls are going up.
Mm-hmm.
He's already looking for scapegoats.
But he says, "I'm tired of being the scapegoat."
Well, that's the funniest fucking thing he could have said, right? Because that's pure projection.
What's that mean? He wishes Rachel would have come on and she would have been the scapegoat, or what? Is he?
Yeah, that's pure projection. Like it means he's always looking for the scapegoat, but he is it. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't understand.
But I thought that was such a good question raised by Sheena. I don't think I've ever said that before, but it's true.
Well, and I mean, I think.
And he's giving her more leeway than he is anyone else in the group at this moment in time, anyway.
Well, and I don't know, I think part of what makes this show interesting to me is just the fucking sort of the weird kind of grotesque cognitive dissonance that you have watching it, right? Because you're listening or talking to Sheena, talking to Tom, and maybe this is just my take on it, right?
But Did you feel like she could put a mirror on Sandoval's face and be talking to herself?
Maybe, but besides that, like, I mean, I do, and I got thoughts on that too. But I mean, just the fact that she's sitting there talking about this, do you think that you manipulated Rachel? And not like manipulate it, like it's just such a, like, it's, I don't know, like, I guess the way I look at it, and because I don't know Rachel at all either, right, is because just like those young girls in the pool, I see an older man manipulating a younger girl, and it's talked about so lightly. You know what I mean? Like,
and she was in such a vulnerable state too. Like she just broke off an engagement to James, and they'd been together for a while.
Yeah, like, like what Sandoval did, just looking at it, is fucking disgusting. And it's just like, it's weird that I feel like that we're even talking about the guy. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's weird for me.
He has like a 25-year-old girlfriend, current day.
Yeah, like in any other arena of culture, Sandoval would be fucking gone. Ghost. Gone. He wants to make a comparison. He's Kevin fucking Spacey. You know what I mean? Like,
if
gone.
Sandoval weren't the reason for the ratings, oh my God, canceled. But we have to have Sandoval on there in order to have this, what we're basically talking about right now. And even Lisa, in like making sure everyone's okay with Tom, and now everybody else making sure everybody's okay with Tom. Nobody's saying, is Ariana okay? That's why in that one scene when she said that in her confessional that she was hurt, that Sheena was so hurt about not being friends with this person, because Ariana, and I think that's why people dislike Ariana so much, is because she doesn't, say, show her vulnerability
Mm-hmm.
or whatnot. And but I can see it, and so I've always really loved Ariana. It's just, I don't know, up until now I didn't really like her on the show this season because I didn't like where her head was, so it was holding the show hostage. Now she's getting further and further removed, and she's joining the group more, and it's just, I'm starting to be 100% back on her side again.
Well, because I think that's just a product of, I think a lot of people wanted to see a Sandoval redemption arc. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he
I
was
know.
he was, America's boyfriend for a long fucking time. And so
He could have had the best redemption arc in reality television thus far if he had been able to act sincere at the very least. But he
well,
can't. He has to explain where his hurt's coming from all the
well,
time. He can't just leave it at, I'm sorry.
yeah, and
It's always, I'm sorry, but you did this to me. I'm hurt
oh
because
yeah,
of this.
he is a sick fuck, and
He doesn't want us to
he's
forget
a
that he's
sick,
hurt.
childish, fucking creepy old man. And
I will not get that look out of my head, the way he was looking at those girls in the pool. Like he was a tiger and they were his prey.
mm,
It was like a I don't want to put that out there. I'm not saying that about Tom, but it was the creepiest. My skin was crawling in
yeah,
that moment.
well,
Just watching Tom talk to girls that much younger than him like that, in that way.
yeah, and I think that um that's part of the reason why I think that the show is done.
That part, yeah.
I
And so
think
I think,
I think they tried to see if Sandoval could have a redemption arc. We found out that Sandoval's irredeemable, and that's going to be it for the show, I think.
so they'll take the likable characters to the valley maybe. And I
Mm-hmm.
can handle that because I'm not minding the valley because, well, we'll talk about that on our recap of the
Mm-hmm.
valley, but I do feel
Yeah, I don't
like
know
they're
shit about the
doing,
Valley right now.
well, it's kind of, they still party a little bit, but it was more like when my friends had kids, because we
Mm-hmm.
had we had kids about 10 years later than most of our friends. So they used to just have house parties, but res- kind of responsibly, like not blackout.
Yeah.
But like all the kids would be playing, and everybody would just stay at the house,
Mm-hmm.
the kids. But yeah, it's like that. It's like if they're going to be partying, they're partying during the day, and then it's over by like 8 or 9 o'clock maybe, and then the kids are also there, so it's kind of that. So that's kind of more our speed. I
Mm-hmm.
can see that. And so I could see if Lala and Sheena and Brock, even Tom Schwartz, I would hope would go over there. And who else? I would like Allie and James. Are they in the Valley or no? They're in Burbank.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I think James is probably gonna go off and do his own thing.
DJ stuff. Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool because I think that
the Valley's more of a, it's a
older
family sitcom.
Yeah, family.
You know what I mean? Like James is.
Oh yeah, it is kind of like a family sitcom. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, so anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, what else was Sheena yelling at Tom about?
Just about, because he pushed back and he was like, I'm sick of always being the scapegoat. And she was like, it's about you taking accountability. And then he gets pissed off and storms out.
But you know what? And this is me being devil's advocate here. If I were Tom, I would be pretty annoyed too, because it's like he has not filmed a scene yet where he hasn't had to be held accountable for his affair with Rachel. Whether he has taken accountability or not, that's a different story. But every scene, somebody's asking him about Rachel, or they're talking about her.
Yeah, nobody's asking him about, why don't you tell me how the old special forces went,
Yeah, or the extras.
Yeah. Are those steroids making your balls shrink? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, your body's looking great, man. Sobriety's looking good on you. I mean, I can really tell you're doing a lot of work on yourself. No, nobody's saying that. No. He's trying to portray that, but nobody's noticing because...
Well, because you can't get over the fact how full of shit he is. You know what I mean? So you can't have a normal conversation with the guy because he's been nothing but a straight up fucking liar to your face the whole time.
I know.
So yeah, everything is going to be awkward. You're just trying to, they just want to kind of break him and actually... real fucking tears. Like, I am so fucking sorry, guys. I fucked this up. I'm gonna go, take a shit.
And then real quick, we go back to Brock and Sheena's the next day for more nanny talk. And I'm gonna have to let you take over because for this whole scene, all I could do was focus on how huge Brock looked in that adult-sized chair. I was like, how big is this man?
Yeah.
But I mean, I was really high too. So I don't know. Did he look ginormous to you? And then they cut to his confessional. I'm like, whoa, he looks abnormally large there too. Why have I never noticed this? So what happens in this scene? Please.
Oh, not a whole lot. They're still talking about get the nanny situation, and so Sheena, still talking about how she can't. I think isn't what's her name supposed to come over?
I think there was a different lady they were trying out.
But anyway, so Brock's upset because he wants to have a schedule, right? Like he wants to have a, set schedule where he knows he wants to be able to go to fucking work. Oh, that's
right. And Sheena she's kind of mean to Brock in this scene. She puts him in. She's like, how many times do I have to tell you I don't live by my life on a schedule or whatever
It's like, well, yeah, the rest of the world does. And for a lot of people, it's kind of comforting to have one.
She spoke to him like a 2-year-old. Yeah. He isn't Summer Moon. But Brock he just laughs it off. He's funny.
Yeah.
But then they get over it. She's like, you make me mad. You're making me so mad today. And he's like, oh, but I love you. I'm not going to do that. I love you. And she's like, well, I love you too, but you're making me mad. And then he draws this cry face emoji. That was cute. And then they went to the kitchen and talked about the night before. Because I don't think
Oh, the
Brock was there, or was he? Well, he wasn't at the discussion with Tom. I don't.
yeah,
But they were talking about it like it was the first time they discussed it.
yeah, and I think that Sheena also. I mean, because I don't know. Maybe they're just kind of dragging it out or whatever, but I don't know if Sheena is gonna take Tom back as a buddy.
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Not if she keeps coming at him with shit like that today.
I think that was her so she could say, "Well, I stand up to Tom too."
But she never had before. It's the same thing with Schwartz.
Well, maybe. I hope you're right, but I don't
You
see it
know,
happening. I see just because
well, no, because what value is Tom's friendship?
I don't know what was it before. But she was crying over it before that.
Well, I mean, like,
I just thought it was weird how she went after him. I thought it was I thought it was almost a
yeah.
producer move, a self-produced move. Like, I'm gonna do this so in the future I can say no. I've stood up to him too.
Oh, you think she's thinking about the reunion
Yeah,
already?
no, I think she's thinking about when she decides to be friends with him and Ariana confronts her and she'll be like, "No, but we've had our fights too. Don't you remember that one night in at Tom Tom or wherever they were? It wasn't Tom Tom, wherever they were."
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, she's very, see, she thinks of this stuff very
Well,
I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe that's my Sheena brain
yeah,
working.
like I said, you know these people much better than I do. But
I don't know.
I'm just saying
Not
the
personally.
vibes. I'm just saying no. I think that no, because like Tom is not redeemable.
Oh, speaking of Tom not being redeemable, the next is so great because the next day we're at Tom and Ariana's and Katie and Ariana are unloading groceries and stuff for game night and Ariana gets a text from Anne saying that Tom wants to make a smoothie. And so Ariana goes, "Well, I gotta go fix my hair and makeup or whatever." And she leaves Katie alone in the kitchen with Tom. Now, this is the first scene I've ever remembered those two having one on one,
Mm.
completely one on one. And he apologizes, his whole usual thing. And it is amazing because Katie came to play again.
Yeah,
I loved it. I loved it. What did you think of this scene?
yeah. Though I think that Katie came to basically was like,
Well,
I ain't buying any of your shit. Like you can't, you know.
he did he apologized and she's like, "Well, that's great if you say you're sorry, but,"
Oh my god.
and then she's like, "But actions, and consequence,
I have that.
it was so awesome."
Yeah, and I feel like I have that conversation almost every single day with those two out there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit how sorry you are. Quit saying you're fucking sorry.
No, but like Tom goes,
Stop pulling people's hair.
but when Tom says, "Give me a little grace," she goes, "No." It's so funny. Like Katie has her moment. I mean, especially when because she wasn't trying to be
Mm.
funny, but it was funny. She goes, "No," just
See, and
deadpan.
yeah, and it's just like, I don't know. It's, yeah, why would you accept an apology from that guy? I don't know why you would.
Especially Katie. Like,
Mm,
I think Ariana, but then, yeah, Katie deserves an apology from that man for the years. He he
Well,
took, I mean, of course Schwartz is responsible for his own actions, but like Tom Sandoval did not make it easy. And like Sandoval was always, I don't know, he was never nice to Katie.
yeah. Well,
And if, I don't know, I feel like a best man, especially in a friend group that's that close or that, you know, um, if your your best friend who you were the best man at their wedding to is having marital problems, you should be giving him advice on how to help his marital
yeah.
relationship. And I feel like Tom was championing for a divorce because he's always hated Katie Maloney, like,
Yeah.
and it's, uh, like, yeah, if I were Katie, I would have zero patience for that man. Like I would not even breathe the same air as him anymore, especially now that she's not
Mm-hmm.
married to his best friend. She doesn't, I mean, she's a lot nicer
Yeah.
to him than she even needs to be.
Well, and I think she kind of
Not
feels
that
like too,
she's
like,
sweet,
yeah, in
but
that moment she gets to kind of like stand there between him and Ariana too, right? And be like,
true.
you know, no, you're not gonna fucking sweet talk me, like I'm a fucking wall between you and her, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh gosh.
because I mean, in the end,
I wonder if she got extra to film with him though. Because otherwise, because girls get ready together,
mm-hmm.
especially for a party like that. If I were at, say, any one of my
Well,
girlfriend's best or houses, and there's a party, and she goes, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna do my hair and makeup. I'll be
mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I'm gonna go too, or I'll help you, or whatever. We're gonna go and we're gonna chat about the party and probably talk more about Tom.
Might
But
have been on the clock. She might have been like, he gets 3 minutes. He can come down, make a cup
three,
of tea, and then I'm walking off, or he's got to walk off.
he gets to say I'm sorry, and I want him to say I'm sorry for this, this, and this. And yeah, no, I don't know. That'd be great though.
But yeah, it's yeah. Like I said, he's getting to do the sort of the apology tour and is failing so freaking miserably at it. Of course, the problem is though is because he can't apologize to anybody within this group as long as there's still a group until he apologizes to Ariana first, because everything after that's bullshit. Before that's bullshit.
Oh, I know.
I think if he does have a redemption arc, it doesn't even start until he grovels to Ariana. I'm not saying like not her taking him back, but he has to grovel.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how that gets facilitated unless Anne. Do they use Anne as a mediator for an apology? I don't know. I don't. I
Well, and that's what I mean. And so that's where Ariana's power's at, right? She controls whether or not
right.
he even has a shot at. But then again, it's not like that would be something that actually happened off camera, right? Obviously, if he can't even make those steps, sort of off, he had his chance early on and he fucking failed. When she brought the cameras in right away, that's where he failed, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how you're going to save the show, and it's just that.
I don't know. I've enjoyed the last two episodes quite a bit, and Tahoe was fun. And we'll see how they end it. Maybe they're gonna end it. Who knows? Maybe It would be nice.
It's fun, but like you said, this whole thing is about Tom Sandoval and Ariana, and I don't know where they go from there after this. You know what I mean? Because everybody else, when it comes to anything else, looks completely over it.
Yeah, that's true. And most of them have their own
Yeah,
stuff. Like,
mm-hmm.
out, they, most of them have set their lives up in a way that if the show were to end, they would still have a brand and they would still have something to bring in money
Yeah.
or income. But I don't know. We'll see. Tom Schwartz comes into Tom Sandoval's bedroom where he's
Mm-hmm.
journaling, and I want to take that journal and throw it at his dense fucking head, because I don't believe I don't believe he actually writes in it just, to do. You know what I think he does? I think he writes on it on camera because he thinks that's what somebody who works on themselves does.
Yeah.
They do, or they quit drinking, they journal, and they hire meditation coaches. And
yeah,
I seriously, I saw that journal and I just wanted to grab it and throw it at him as hard, because it looks like a heavy one.
mm-hmm.
It's a hardcover heavy book.
It's
It looked like it would hurt if you got chucked in the head with.
Yeah, he probably has Anne write in it for him. Fill up these pages, Anne. I need you to fill up these pages for me.
He has her do everything else for.
Yeah, I can totally see it. Anne, can you write my journal entry for me? Take dictation.
I need something for them to blur out.
Yeah, basically, it's like I gotta look like I've been writing, but I don't fucking write. Like, that's not what I do. Like, I'm Tom Sandoval. I will be filmed writing, but
It'll
you fill these
ruin
pages.
my manicure. No, but like, he even brings that up later after I wrote that about he's only writing in his journal because he thinks it makes it look like he's doing self-help. He's like, yeah, I started journaling when I found out Rachel started journaling. I thought Rachel's journaling and she's not drinking. Maybe I'll start journaling and maybe I'll quit drinking. He said that. I was like, you motherfucker. You predictable motherfucker.
Oh, he's so fucking gross, man.
Oh.
I feel so sorry for anybody who's got to be sitting next to him. And Schwartz just looks so fucking over.
Well, he continues to talk about Rachel and how he thought that they were going to be together. And then he starts crying about her. And then he has to get up the way he did in the season finale when he goes to the window at Lisa's at Villa Rosa's and does his shudder cry with his arm up and his head against his arm, because he did that in his closet.
But he had his Vicks in the closet.
Yeah, because he had some tears come out and some. Schwartz even looked over it, and he knew he was full of shit.
Yeah, it's just like nobody believed. And
Tom goes, "You look like you're in a bad way, man." Just like that. Just that monotone. You look like you're in a bad way, man.
Nobody who watched the reunion last season could look Raquel in the eye with a dead-eyed stare and say, yes, Tom Sandoval loves you. And she wasn't stupid. You know what I mean? She watched it too.
That's why she came back 3 days later, set the record straight, headed to rehab.
Yeah.
Her mental health.
And, so it's like for everybody else, it's so fucking obvious. So every time he says it, it's just like, it shows you how mentally ill Tom Sandoval is.
Oh, yeah. And then when Tom Schwartz says, "You don't look good, man," he compares himself to Scott Peterson. I kid you not. I go, did he? Did he just? And then I rewound it and I go, he fucking did. He he made us, and then even Schwartz clocked it and said, "You can't compare yourself to a wife murderer." And he already compared himself to OJ. The only comparisons he can make of himself, well, other than George Floyd, are
Like,
criminals. There's Danny Masterson, who sodomized women, raped them brutally, or OJ, who allegedly killed his wife. Peterson, who allegedly killed his wife. Was he going to kill Ariana or Rachel? Do you think he's killed a girlfriend?
well, he seems to be really obsessed with these, kinds of characters. So I don't know. But no, I don't think so. I think it's just how pitiful he thinks his plight is. Like he has been drugged through the mud so bad. Like it's his way of saying, it's his really tone deaf and stupid fucking way of saying, I didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, what's the big deal? Ariana's living her best life. I didn't kill anybody. Just love me and the way you used to love me.
I think he's killed so many brain cells. Like,
Mm-hmm.
or he's like me. I think I'm telling a story, and as I'm telling it, it's rapid fire in my head
Mm-hmm.
so much that I'm filling in the gaps mentally, but my audience is left wondering because I haven't verbalized
Mm-hmm.
pieces of my story, because I don't think I don't think what Sandoval says is what he's hearing in his
Mm-hmm.
head, or what he hears in his head isn't what he's. I don't.
Yeah.
Wires are getting crossed, I think, but um, I don't. I have written down Schwartz is dying to get Sandoval laid. Did he say we need to? What did he say?
Was that when
We
he was
need to
talking about
take a
break the Raquel spell?
Rachel spell?
The Raquel spell.
Oh,
You
yeah,
told me to
that was.
write down
Oh, yeah, because I was
the
good.
the Raquel spell.
Yeah, because I was gonna write. That was disgusting. I didn't like that. I didn't like Schwartz saying that.
Well, yeah, and
But
that's
and I love Schwartz. You know that.
but that's him admitting kind of that we all knew, right? That
Yeah.
he was using her, and anyways, but yeah, so this is what Sandoval needs, is that permission to go and skis on girls that are old enough to be his daughter.
And then after, I don't know what Tom and Tom do after that, but then they pan down to game night, and it looks like fun. They
Mm-hmm.
play. What are they playing? Never Have I
Yeah,
Ever.
Never Have I Ever.
And they I thought Allie's card was hilarious. Or was the last one, but like did no, they someone pulled a card, Never Have I Ever Had a Threesome. Oh, with two men.
Yeah.
And Brock had to drink it. I was like, Brock? He's like, well, I wasn't involved, but I was in the room. I'm like, what? And then Sheena's was more of an orgy because her body was a wonderland. Gee, wonder who she's referring to.
Oh, God.
Again.
But now that you say that, like, I guess I didn't know anything about it, but I think I do. Didn't he like show up on after shows and stuff before, or like
John Mayer?
Yeah.
He and Andy are like
I would say
besties. They do Grateful Dead show, or they go to Dead shows
yeah,
together.
but there
And
was like the
he's been on Watch What Happens a
yeah,
lot.
that's what I was thinking of.
But
Okay.
yeah.
So, anyways, yeah. So there's that, and no, Brock said that there was a lot of stuff going on. He said he just knows that there was more boys that more bros than girls or whatever, right? Like,
I love this man. I don't know where Sheena found him, but oh God, I'm glad.
Well, from what I know of rugby players, that's not very surprising.
He's just, but the way he goes with the flow, he's just one of the, I don't know, maybe it's the accent too. He's like this, I don't know why I think of a leprechaun when I think of Brock, because he's neither Irish nor little. But it's like me Lucky Charms. But anyway,
what else we find out? Is that it?
I think so, but
I never understood like the rules and never. So never have I ever. If they say it, then if you drink, you did it, or you never did it. Like I wish they would just say, "I've done this," and then drink. Like because you throw the never in there, and then it's like fuck. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
negatives and math. All of a sudden you math my English, and I get confused.
Okay, now imagine you're drunk. That's the fun of it. But I think you're able to somehow when you're drunk, I think it makes more sense to you. I don't know. I've played it before, but yeah. It there's a learning curve maybe. I don't know. But yeah, then we see the guys are together while Allie and Joe meet to talk about Joe's birth chart.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brock asks Tom, he straight up asks Tom, what's going on between you and Joe?
Mm-hmm.
And then cut back to Allie telling Joe that, oh, that makes total sense. You guys have friendship vibes. And Joe just looks
She's
defeated.
so dejected, yeah.
And then Allie I love Allie, but true psychic form backpedals. Oh, but I see that. Don't worry, I see that all the time. Best friends make great lovers, and I see them get married all the time. Don't worry about it. Yeah. That's great that you guys are best friends. But like,
yeah, she's.
But how? And then Tom even told the guys that that Joe was having a hard time because like Katie was being a bitch, or like all the girls were being.
Well, yeah, when she was talking about like the the social media stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know the whole story, but that doesn't seem.
But does she seem like? I mean, all the dudes said she was took up for her. Like they were on the same page as Tom, and I just, Allie is such a good girl. Like when she was so sweet to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
And she welcomed Joe, and then Joe was so appreciative. I wanted to hug her when I saw that tweet of Katie's calling her an anorexic crack whore. I'm going to start crying right now thinking of her mom calling her, saying, you're on crack? Like, how can you do that, Katie? You're almost 40 years old. I'm sorry. If you could see my face, I am so mad.
I know, and that's what because you look at how Katie has been throughout this episode, and kind of like showing a lot
A
of
voice of
a lot of
reason.
maturity and a lot of strength, and then it's like, oh yeah, but then you got to remember that all these
There's
people are freaking awful, like in their own way. Like, don't forget,
Yeah.
they're all attention whores, or they wouldn't be doing what they're doing.
Ooh, nice segue. Because dun dun dun, he is back. Yes, he's back.
Jax.
Look who's back. Look who's back.
Oh man,
Look
he came in
back.
just fucking blazing.
He came in hot.
He was basically like, look, we might as well just go outside and fist fight right now. I got the fucking sword out there. Like, let's go do this. Like,
I did not think I missed Jax until this scene. I was like, I missed you, buddy. Dude, nobody pushed Sandoval the way those two pushed each other was, I didn't even realize how much I missed.
Oh yeah, because they're both those kind of dudes, right? Like they both go to bed at night with their fucking headphones on, listening to like these meditative, you are an alpha male, you control the room, right? Like, and a bunch of like Jordan Peterson shit. Like they're both like those kind of guys, right? Like,
but like Jack, yeah, because they both played this underdog, like woe is me, and do not realize they are creating a villain character for themselves. And it's like, it's so funny. But like, one of my favorite oh no, I'm getting ahead of myself, but yeah, okay, yeah, I can't believe he has a kid and now a bar. Jax, like,
I don't know, I got so many friends that have kids that I can't believe have freaking kids that I'm just like, well, they're alive. You're doing really well.
But one of my favorite things was when Jax, just trying to get under Sandoval's skin, is like, yeah, you're looking so much better. Man, I saw a picture of you and you looked 50. It's such an under. Well, yeah, he's like, you're looking so much better. Except for the nail polish, dude. We got to get rid of that.
You know what? But I feel like Jax came in and said to fucking Sandoval what needed to be said.
Bing, it's like, go. The things nobody else is saying.
Yeah, it's like everybody's tiptoeing around Sandoval and trying not to like, and it's great too, because for Jax, it's not even like he's coming and swooping in because he wants to defend Ariana. He doesn't give a shit. He wants to go and rub it in fucking Sandoval's face that your shit stinks, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah. How does it feel to be in the doghouse now that I'm gone?
Yeah.
You can't blame your shit on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah, I wonder where we would be if Jax had never been fired from Vanderpump Rules, he'd probably be the one sleeping with Raquel.
Well,
did you have any other thoughts? Or did I skip anything in this scene?
I don't think so. I mean, that was kind of it. Like, they I don't actually, they kind of busted Schwartz's balls a little bit on Joe, which I think, that's, I hope those guys the best. I hope those two get together. I'm cheering for Joe and
Or at least
Schwartz.
The girls will leave Joe alone.
So I guess Katie will get to decide if Joe gets to come and join the group or not.
Well, I hope that Schwartz learned from Katie to have a backbone and stick up for your woman, no matter who you're talking to. But yeah, basically that was it. Oh man, I really enjoyed that episode. I did. And I think they're just gonna be getting, well, I think they're gonna, if they don't get better, they're gonna still be entertaining us. I
Well,
feel.
if you listen to Andy's
Instagram.
yeah, shit about the reunion, we're in for a treat.
Yeah, he said these next 7 episodes were good.
He binged them.
He binged them.
Oh,
And he
well.
has no skin in. Oh, real quick. And have you heard anything about Kate Middleton?
I just know they keep finding like pictures like being doctored that they keep releasing with her in it.
Okay, well, they promised she'd make an Easter appearance. So if she doesn't make an appearance after, what, next weekend?
How fucking weird is that?
Well, because
Goddamn
she had
Royals.
yeah, I know, Royals. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that episode of Vanderpump Rules and the Reality Riffs podcast. Please like,
Like and
subscribe,
subscribe.
tell a friend,
Tell a friend. Share it on your social media.
rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Hey, and leave us some comments.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what you liked, what we could improve on.
Yeah, what did we miss? What were we wrong about?
Nah, or don't. But I mean, it doesn't cost anything and it takes fractions of a second to press that like button.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. We love you. Have a good one.
Bye.